Where are the jobs? Where are they? Oh, my goodness.
Good day, and welcome to a British report that feels less like political analysis and more like a dispatch from a front line, the front line of the high street, because something has fundamentally snapped. The simmering frustration over bills, over prices, over a feeling that the ladder is being pulled up, has boiled over into something tangible, something loud. You have seen the pictures, you have heard the chants. Angry citizens are not just complaining online, they are taking to the streets. And the target of their festive fury? Chancellor Rachel Reeves. The accusation is seismic and simple. She destroyed Christmas. Not with a whimper, but with a budget. This is not just about disappointing sales figures anymore. This is about a public mood that has curdled from anxiety into outright anger. So how did we get here? How did a fiscal statement in November lead to protests in December? We are going to unpack the chain reaction that turned tinsel into torches and shopping lists into placards. This is the story of the year politics met the pavement. Quick favour, if you are seeing this unfolding drama and want the unvarnished, fast-paced truth on British politics as it happens, you need to be subscribed with that notification bell smashed. Over 92% of viewers are missing out on our full-spectrum coverage. It is free, it is instant, and it is the only way to ensure you are never behind the curve. Thank you. Now back to the uprising. Let us set the scene with the moment the match was struck. Late November, the Chancellor finishes delivering her budget. The headlines write themselves. Tough choices, broadest shoulders, asking a little more. But on the high street, in the cafes, in the retail parks, the translation was immediate and brutal. This was not a plan for growth, it was a receipt for pain. Higher business rates, another cost. Raid on employers' national insurance, another cost. A sharp hike in the minimum wage, a worthy cost, but a cost nonetheless. And then, like a Christmas gift nobody asked for, an avalanche of new workers' rights legislation thunders through Parliament. Individually, each policy has a defensible core. Collectively, to a public already feeling financially flogged, it sounded like one thing: more pressure, more strain, more reasons to be afraid. The Treasury spokesman can talk until the reindeer come home about stability and 6 interest rate cuts, but when you are facing a 20% hike in your shop's rates bill, macroeconomic stability feels like a cruel joke. The narrative was set before the first protester even picked up a marker pen. Labour's first budget was a direct attack on the lifeblood of our towns. Then the economic shockwave hit. Black Friday, just 48 hours later, was a ghost town. The Office for National Statistics confirmed it. Sales fell. In November, the 1 month you could bet your life on them rising. Then December followed, described by the Confederation of British Industry with the devastatingly simple word poor. Super Saturday was a super flop. Forecasts for January plunged to depths not seen since the pandemic lockdowns. This was not a dip, this was a collapse. And for the public, this data was not a spreadsheet. It was their reality. It was the empty unit where their favourite shop was. It was the worried look on a friend's face who works in retail. It was their own tight, clenched feeling of fear every time they considered a non-essential purchase. The expert Kate Hardcastle called it perfectly. Households became risk managers. But when risk managers see a system failing, they do not just sit tight, they demand change. The plummeting sales were the economic indicator, but they were also the rallying cry. And so the anger found its feet. It moved from kitchen table complaints to the middle of the high street. What we are seeing is not an organized political rally in the traditional sense. It is a raw, organic outburst from small business owners, from retail staff, from consumers who feel deliberately targeted. They are not protesting an abstract concept, they are protesting the closure of their community. The quotes from politicians that felt like punchlines in Westminster now fuel the fire on the pavement. Andrew Griffith's hangover without the party line is not a soundbite anymore. It is a perfect summary of the public's betrayal. Richard Tice's lump of coal is not a metaphor. It is what people feel they have been given. The protesters are holding signs with those very words. They have taken the political rhetoric and thrown it right back. This is what happens when economic anxiety transcends statistics and becomes a shared visceral experience. The angry citizens are not a mob, they are a manifestation of a broken contract. They were told the budget was for stability, but they feel profoundly destabilized. They were told it was for the long term, but they are facing ruin right now. But we must ask the brutal, complicating question, is Reeves solely the villain, or is she the lightning rod for a storm that has been brewing for years? The cost of living crisis did not begin with this government. Inflation is falling, but prices remain sky high, a fact that makes the stability message ring hollow. Discretionary income has been eviscerated, yet politics is about perception and moment. and the perception created by that budget's timing and tone was catastrophic. The rumours of tax hikes, the testing of the water, was political malpractice of the highest order. It injected pure, undiluted uncertainty into the peak spending season. The Chancellor did not just present a budget, she accidentally authored a horror story for retailers and shoppers alike. She became the face of the fear. So when the sales collapsed, she owned it. When the golden quarter turned to lead, she owned it. And now, as people take to the streets with a sense of festive injustice, she owns that too. The protests are the logical human conclusion of a narrative of loss. They are not just angry about a tax raid, they are angry that the joy, the light, the communal spirit of Christmas trading has been extinguished by what they see as political willfulness. The final analysis is this. The image of angry citizens in the streets amid Christmas lights chanting about a budget is a potent symbol that will define this government's early months more than any parliamentary vote. It proves that economic policy is never just numbers. It is sentiment, it is confidence, it is community. Rachel Reeves may argue she was fixing the roof. The public reaction suggests they believe she knocked down the entire house right in the middle of the party. Whether this anger sustains or dissipates will be the story of 2025. But for now, the message from the street is clear. You cannot tax the magic out of Christmas and expect no one to notice. Thank you for watching.